Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris and I'm an astrologer and Reiki master teacher. And in today's video, we are going to be exploring the Aquarius full moon together. It is occurring on the Lion's Gate of August 8th, August 9th, depending on where you are in the world. I'm in Hawaii. It is, in fact, on August 8th. Lionsgate, and it is sure to be a very, very powerful lunation. In this video, I'm going to share with you some medical astrology tips about the moon in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. We're going to look at the astrology as well as the galactic astrology, the star alignments that the planets are making at the time of the full moon. And we're also going to take a look at the Sabian symbol for the moon and start bringing together a holographic, multi-dimensional picture and experience of this incredible lunation that is coming up and really marking a highlight, an energetic crescendo in the month of August. So thank you so much for being here, and we will get right into it. My favorite resource for medical astrology that I have found thus far in my astrological studies is Judith Hill, and I have all of her books. I highly recommend her books. And what I'm going to share with you now is coming from the Aquarius moon section in her book, Astrology and Your Vital Force. So Aquarius moon in medical astrology has the action of being cold and spastic. It has a great electrical charge and results can be unpredictable. So remembering that Aquarius zodiac sign is ruled by the planet Uranus. Uranus is the modern planetary ruler of Aquarius zodiac sign. Aquarius moons are great for stimulating ideas and imagination, philanthropy, idealized vision, odd projects, invention, intuitive discovery, science. Aquarius moon enhances sense of humor and imagination, thinking outside of the box. It's friendly. It can be, in its shadow expression, depression prone, because thinking at the time of the year when Aquarius zodiac sign season is, that is the middle of winter in the northern hemisphere. Aquarius moon can also be light deficient, as it is that middle of the winter zodiac sign for the northern hemisphere. The body correspondences for Aquarius zodiac sign in zodiacal man include the shins, the ankles, the circulation of blood, the electrical body, the spinal nerves. Blood issues are governed by Aquarius zodiac sign, and Aquarius has some relation to eyesight, the veins, and oxygenation in the body. So when it comes to the transit influence on health and surgery, Aquarius is cold and electric. It is the most extreme period of the month for the electromagnetic and barometric effects that are hard to diagnose and unpredictable. Energies in general are unpredictable, and this can bring with it extreme reactions to medications, hormones, homeopathic remedies. Think extra sensitive, extra electrical response to stimuli of all different kinds. Aquarius moon can bring fatigue. It can influence circulation, the spinal nerves, blood quality, oxygenation of the blood, neural impulses. And when somebody has an Aquarius moon natally, they may need more vitamins, minerals, supplements, oxygen than do other moon signs. They often crave and need salt and also need open windows, open airflow wherever they are spending the majority of their time. Aquarius moon also heightens neurological sensitivity And ideally, with an Aquarius moon, you are nourishing the Aquarius zodiac sign body zone. So, again, that's the shins, ankles, the blood circulation, the blood oxygenation, the electrical body, the spinal nerves, eyesight, and the veins. So thinking Aquarius being linked to that lower leg. So that is our medical astrology little tidbits. Hopefully that's helpful to you for thinking about how to best tend your health and wellness during this Aquarius full moon. It's zingy, it's zangy, it's definitely stimulating. It can be a bit of a insomniac time. So if you like to have some chamomile tea or other ways that you're practicing really good sleep hygiene, this also feels like a really good lunation for grounding, placing your bare feet, your hands, your body on the earth, and being in that energy exchange with the earth, doing different grounding techniques, grounding meditations, inviting Reiki energy to help you ground however you like to do that, because this can be very stimulating. It's a stimulating moon sign, and full moons are almost always more stimulating times. So just keeping that in mind for August 8th, 9th. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to look at the astrology chart now. So this is our beautiful Aquarius full moon. Like I said, August 8th, 9:55 p.m. Hawaii time. And most other parts of the world, this full moon will be on August 9th. And so you can see in this chart, the moon is at 16 degrees, 59 minutes of Aquarius zodiac sign. The sun at exactly opposite at 16 degrees, 59 minutes of Leo zodiac sign. And I invite you to look in your natal astrology chart and see where 16, 17 degrees of Aquarius and Leo are in your chart, which astrological houses is this full moon falling in, and what different life areas are being highlighted. The full moon is a time where we could come into greater awareness, illumination, that full moon lighting up a particular area in our life. And it can also be an opportunity to bring these two seemingly opposite life areas into greater balance, harmony, and integration. So you can see in this chart that the moon at almost 17 degrees Aquarius is conjunct Chariklo, which is retrograde at 20 degrees and 1 minutes of Aquarius zodiac sign. And Chariklo is one of the beautiful centaur beings out in her orbit in between Saturn and Uranus. And in myth, Chariklo was the wife, or is the wife, of Chiron, the master healer, teacher, mentor, guiding light, very wise, very beautiful centaur being. And in Chariklo's myth, her myth tells a story where she was actually a water nymph, a sea nymph, and she and Chiron fell in love, and she underwent a sort of transmutation, transfiguration process that allowed her to actually go from being a being of the waters to a being of the land, a being of the earth. And they were able to be together and share their love together in a similar form. And so she is very widely known for really holding beautiful, kind, compassionate, quiet, yet very strong and powerful space for Chiron, the master healer, teacher, mentor being, as Chiron was ultimately unable to heal his deepest wounds, but was continuously being of great service to many other heroes and beings who wanted to learn from him. Chariklo was that divine feminine presence that was behind the work and the legacy of beautiful Chiron. So having the moon, this divine feminine being, divine mother being of our solar system, in such close and sacred relationship with our Earth, literally the closest object that we can perceive in our solar system to the Earth, seeing the moon in alignment with Cheroklo, we are receiving this double dose of really potent divine feminine energy at this time. And that's also being highlighted here too with gorgeous planet Venus at 10 degrees 39 minutes of Cancer conjunct Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, expanding the divine feminine principle of Venus. And together, this aspect is really talking about expanded love, unconditional love, limitless unconditional love in the moon sign of Cancer zodiac sign. So there is really a conversation here that is happening that is all about holding ourselves in love, holding others in love and sacredness, and really engaging in that divine feminine way of being that is comforting and nurturing and nourishing, and yes, is brilliant, is out of the box, is also very community oriented with Aquarius zodiac sign. It is geared towards the future, but there is this infinite water quality that's coming through. Aquarius zodiac sign is the living waters. It is the liquid waters that are pouring forth from the urn of Aquarius. And when we look at the star alignments that the moon is making, this water theme is being continued. And if you're looking at the screen I'm sharing, you also see I have dolphins in the screen as well on screen. And that is because our moon at 17 degrees Aquarius is making alignments with two stars in Delphinus constellation. And Delphinus constellation is a dolphin that is located near the Aquila the Eagle constellation. So those two are together and map onto the Aquarius zodiac sign degrees in our zodiacal wheel. So those stars are Swallowson and Rotanev. And these are, of course, linked to the dolphins. In the work of Bernadette Brady, she categorizes the Swallowson star in Delphinus constellation as a star of joy and happiness. And of course, when we think about dolphins, they are extremely joyful, extremely happy, extremely playful, lighthearted, just incredible beings of truly infinite joy and happiness. And this star is also linked to a playful form of intelligence. It's this intelligent playfulness. The moon with Swallowson in the work of Bernadette Brady is a good networker. It has helpful friends. It's a popular person. There can be a tendency to be overly dependent on one's natural talents. This star is linked to being optimistic that an idea or an endeavor will be successful. So these are some of those manifestations: good networking, helpful friends, helpful support, lots of gifts and talents, intelligence, playfulness, joy, happiness. What a light and bright and just glorious moon this is. And I will share with you a personal anecdote that I have I was talking about this star and the presence of dolphin energy back at the Leo New Moon Distant Reiki Share on July 24th, and really excited about this dolphin energy, really excited about the Sirian energy that is very linked to the dolphins and the whales and the water dwellers, particularly of the oceans of the earth, which I'm told and shown in my Reiki journeys are connected to the oceans of the galactic, particularly the oceans of the planets within Sirius star system. And so I was so delighted recently in Hawaii. You may have been aware that there was a huge earthquake, an 8.8 earthquake in Russia. And as a result of that, a tsunami was generated, and there were all these tsunami watches and advisories, and what turned out to be for Hawaii a tsunami warning. And this was my first time being on island during a tsunami warning. I'm very familiar with earthquakes. I'm very familiar and have been here for many different volcanic eruptions. No big deal. But tsunami warning, this was something different. And that got me to thinking and really understanding that tsunami is a really beautiful, earthy expression, literal expression of Cancer zodiac sign. Cancer zodiac sign is a water sign. It's cardinal water. So it's initiatory, it's catalyzing water. It's water that's moving. With the different zodiac signs, it's nice to have different images that correlate with the element, of course, but also the modality. And for example, with Scorpio zodiac sign, we think fixed water. Okay, that's water that's still, that's ice. It's frozen water, or it's the water that's in a very deep well. It's not moving. Or another image that came through to me was like it's the groundwater, it's beneath the surface. Pisces is mutable water. It's water that's going in all the directions. It's cosmic water. So it is like the ocean of the earth and how that's connected to the oceans of the other planets and our galaxies. It's the water that is just all across the universe and animates all of life. When thinking about Cancer, the image of a waterfall, that is water that's definitely in motion, or the rapids of a river would also be a beautiful image for Cancer zodiac sign. But tsunami, this was a new one that really came through, because as I was learning under this tsunami warning more about what a tsunami actually is, it's not just a vertical wave of water. It does have height to it, but there's a longitudinal wave of water where it's water that's high and that it's coming with this extreme force, this powerful energy. It's traveling all the way from Russia to Hawaii to Alaska to the west coast of the United States. It's traveling a very great distance because of that longitudinal force. And so tsunami then is yet another beautiful image, a real image that we can think about when understanding and contemplating Cancer zodiac sign. And if you're thinking about any other examples of the elements and the modalities and different images, I would love for you to share those in the comments as those come through. So, tsunami, Cancer. Thankfully, you may be aware the tsunami was very, very minimal in Hawaii. We did have some flooding in some different low-lying areas, but I went to the bayfront the very next day and it was like business as usual, and the cruise ships came back in and it was really, really lovely. And I had the pleasure of going to my favorite secret spot, I call it, local only, this beautiful spot on the coast that has these different pools and tide pools and things where I have seen dolphins in the past, but I have never seen dolphins like this. It was so very clear that the tsunami brought in lots of fish and lots of nutrition, and it brought in the dolphins because there must have been hundreds of them playing within eyesight for me in my secret spot, and I just watched them for over an hour. They were jumping for joy, they were leaping, they were playing, and I was just having the best laugh over it because I talk about these things and we forecast these different things. Oh, dolphin energy is so available. And of course, we can always connect to the dolphins in meditations and journeys, but to actually see them manifest, like, this is my message. They really, really are here. They're here in all the ways. They're here on all the levels. And it was so clear that the physical earth, the waters of our earth, literally brought forth this transmission of the dolphins, of the Sirians, of that unconditional love, of playfulness, of trust, of the energy of like, what has you jumping for joy in your life, in this earth human life? What has you jumping for joy? Really, like, think about that, tap into that. How can you incorporate more of those activities, those people, those experiences, that quality of being that has you jumping for joy? I really feel that that is the invitation of this full moon. And remembering too that Leo zodiac sign, this is linked to the inner child. Cancer zodiac sign is also inner child, divine mother. So there is this youthfulness, this playfulness. We also have Uranus, Sedna, the goddess who died, and in her death, as she sank to the bottom of the ocean, from her body, all of the different sea creatures were born. So this underwater, this joy, this transmutation, transfiguration process, let it be fun, let it be playful, let it be joyful. And really, we can evolve, we can grow, we can become more awake and aware, riding on the frequency of joy. And also, I was seeing hundreds of dolphins in the ocean, and it was clear that there were a few different distinct pods. There was like a group over here, a group over there, a few different groups of these dolphins. So remembering that you're riding the ocean, you're riding the tsunami in your pod, in your community, in your soul family, that's so much a part of it as well. That feeling of togetherness, of tribe, of support, of your soul group, that whatever you're doing, you're not alone in your mission, in why you came. And so many people who are drawn to astrology, drawn to the galactic, we are star seeds. We know that we come from the stars, and often there's a sense of a double mission. There's the mission that maybe you do in your work, in your career, how you live your life, but often there is this other mission, this other deeper, more collective, more transpersonal type of mission that you're on. And I really feel like this time period, Lionsgate, Aquarius, full moon, even the Jupiter Venus conjunction in Cancer aligned to Sirius star, especially if you have a connection to Sirius, you can become more aware of the nature, the depth, the breadth, the scope of that mission, and maybe deeper and more unconscious aspects of your mission, of your soul origin, why you're here. All of that can come to light. I really feel like that can come to light. That's also supported here by Mercury retrograde. Mercury will still be retrograde at the time of this Aquarius full moon. Mercury, this is Varuna, 9 degrees, 45 minutes. Leo, the sun, again, almost 17 degrees. This is our little Leo mini stellium here Varuna is a dwarf planet beyond the orbit of Pluto, considered the higher octave of Saturn. Saturn is a planet that's very much about the soul mission, that karmic purpose that brought us here, your mastery, your inner authority. Varuna, the higher octave of Saturn, is also talking about mastery, authority, notability, what you're really, really good at, what you're known for. So you could see how these three together, Mercury, Varuna, Sun, you could come into greater awareness of that mission while you're here. Have some ideas, have some communications. Mercury, more of the specifics, more of the details about why you're here, and really embody more of that mastery, more of that authority, more of your deep connection to your soul, your spirit, the divine, and just the power that you are as a soul and spirit. So extraordinarily beautiful here. We have a plethora of galactic influences to really connect in with this Aquarius full moon, this Lionsgate portal, as I said, Delphinus, the Dolphin constellation. Mercury will be opposing Altair in Aquila, the eagle. Mercury almost exactly opposite Pluto, also lined up with Aquila the eagle, Altair star. So there is this sense of truths coming to light, soul consciousness, soul contact, soul communication, deeper messages from your soul coming into light, coming into focus, coming into like re-envisioning that, like what that looks like and what that is for you. What is your soul's truth? This is a really powerful time to get super clear on that. Venus opposing a Lathfar star in Lyra, and she's inching closer and closer in orb to Sirius star, where Jupiter is making that alignment. And as I said, as I've been talking about, the beings of Sirius, the frequency of Sirius is so very present now. And Sirius is a star where the mundane becomes sacred, where the day-to-day rituals and routines of life have a sacredness. And our Sirian star family coming through the dolphins, the whales, the water dwellers, the very waters themselves. So really spending time in water, that can unlock this Sirian energy for us, connecting with the divine masters, the ascended masters. This can really help expand in our sense of contact and communication and awareness of the Sirian masters, working with sound, being in the water, taking some time to be quiet in nature, listening, Venus, listening to yourself, taking some time to be still, to be in your listening, to be in your joy, once again, evolving through joy here. We also have Uranus still making beautiful alignments to the stars of the Pleiades, the Pleiadians, super, super accessible now. And you may become aware of, deeper connections to Sirius, deeper connections to the Pleiadians. Be listening for that, be watching for that. I know I've had some of my own visions recently about that, actually being amongst a Sirian group who was leaving behind a planet within Sirius star system. We were letting that planet rest for a time, honoring that planet's cycle where it did not want to support human life anymore. It just needed to be in the full wateriness, in the sacred waters, in the cleansing. And so a group of us came to Venus, came to the earth, and we're working on seeding the early human beings, intermixing galactic and human animal genetics to really experience that human embodiment. And this was during early Lemurian times. So memories like that can come forward. And I was also aware in these memories that I was very much involved with the Sirian group. And that at that same time, there were Pleiadian groups that were doing a similar thing, doing similar kinds of work. There were all these different groups doing this work, and we weren't necessarily working together on it. We had our own different missions and tasks and ways of doing what we were doing, but there was this sense of like harmony. We were all like doing a similar thing in our different authentic ways and helping to see this diverse consciousness, these diverse genetics on this beautiful planet Earth of such diversity, and also experiencing our own struggles with how beings that were not used to humanoid type bodies, like having humanoid type bodies and kind of learning the ropes of more physical existence on this specific planet. So, such a trip. If you want to remember, I definitely feel like this is a time where we are very supported in remembering in Mercury retrograde. When you do slow down, when you listen, when you take that time to really slow down and take note and carve out some space for meditation or journey or time in nature, time in quiet, that, or even just noticing your dreams too. Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries, this is a beautiful opportunity to continue dream work, dream journaling, dream diarying, and to know that this work is definitely happening in our dreams with Saturn Neptune opposite Mars, Mars and Libra opposing those two conjunct in Aries, and Mars being the ruler, the ruling planet of Aries zodiac sign, that we're doing work here, deep work behind the scenes. And Mars is making an alignment with the supergalactic center, which is linked to ancestral healing, our ancestors of the earth, and also our galactic ancestors. So many different opportunities and supports here for very, very deep remembering. The moon is linked to remembering. Cancer zodiac sign is linked to remembering, and we could be remembering great love, Jupiter, Venus. We could be remembering great experiences of connection, of joy, of expansion, of peace, of bliss, of feeling at home, and greater clarity around what it is that home means to us in the depth and the richness and the profundity of our soul's experience. So many different alignments here. Chiron also linking up with Andromeda Galaxy at this time. I mean, that's like Andromedan consciousness also being available to us, an entirely different galaxy. And Andromeda Galaxy also being more of a feminine, polarized sort of galaxy to Milky Way galaxy, sort of more masculine, polarized galaxy. So we have a lot of divine feminine energy here at this time. There's communication, there is action, but it's not an impulsive action. It's a measured action. It's action that's oriented to peace, to the future, to soul and spiritual growth. Again, what I'm sharing here is what we can do on a personal level and also what we can do together in our group works with like-minded, like-hearted beings who are really working on their spiritual evolution at this time. So lots and lots of different ascension codes and galactic ascension supports at this time for really inviting in the frequencies of new earth and heaven on earth, and having experiences of that, and even becoming aware, if you're like, well, that's really not where I'm at, what kinds of shifts and recalibrations, changing in mental processes and attitudes, different action steps that might be implementable so that you are more aligned to that new earth and heaven on earth and living the life that inspires the most joy in your heart. Remember, it's always okay to be course correcting. Don't be hard on yourself. Things are serious, but also don't take things too seriously either. Be in that spirit of laughter, of smiles, of joy. And if you need any help with that, I would be happy to help you in a one-on-one astrology reading or Reiki journey session. really tapping into more of your soul and spirit's joy. So one other thing I want to share is the Sabian symbol for the full moon. This symbol is just absolutely perfect. So this is coming from Astrological Mandala by Dane Rudger, Aquarius 17. A watchdog stands guard, protecting his master and his possessions. The development of the capacity to protect oneself and to safeguard one's individual rights under complex social pressures. What seems to be implied in this symbol, considering its position in the entire cycle, is that under present-day social conditions, the individual person needs protection against the ever-growing encroachments of society upon his theoretically recognized right to lead a private life free from public interference. Seen in this light, the symbol stands in contrast to the preceding one, depicting the power of big business and the totalitarian implications of large-scale organization. At a deeper occult level of interpretation, it also reveals the need to protect oneself against astral intrusions and perhaps black magic, the more so as one ventures into supernormal states of consciousness. It is said that the adept trains certain subhuman entities, elementals, to protect him. The Christian religion speaks of guardian angels in a related sense. At this second stage, we see the individual able to master natural energies, which he enlists in his service, so he may pursue his individualized work of destiny in security. This is another aspect of the relationship of individual to society. Individuals, of course, do also seek to rob or injure other persons, but the state of affairs resulting from a society glorifying competition, ambition, and success at any cost is largely responsible for individual violence. The more creative the person, the greater his or her need for protection. So again, a watchdog stands guard, protecting his master and his possessions, and the keynote being protection. I absolutely love this. As recently, I was talking about the sense of double mission, and this experience I had recently with the tsunami really helped bring to the awareness that so many of us on Earth, that one of the jobs of starseeds and beings who have had lots and lots of experience in other star systems. Maybe we've had experiences on Earth, lots of experiences on Earth. I know I feel I've had lots of experiences on Earth, but I know I've also had lots of experiences not on Earth. And so in thinking about what are some of the starseed missions and jobs, one of those jobs is actually to be here as a protector being, as a guardian being, as a earth protector, a humanity protector, an earth guardian, a humanity guardian, maybe a guardian of the plants, the animals, the fungi, the mushroom, the crystals, whatever it may be. But many of us do have this element of protection and guardianship in our larger collective mission. And even thinking about if you resonate with the idea that maybe you were amongst some of the early groups who were seeding the galactic genetics in ancient Lemurian times and so on, that it would make sense that a lot of us are back now. We're interested in how humanity has evolved and continuing to be looking over humanity as human beings while here and protecting our work, essentially, some of our creations, essentially protecting this planet, the beauty and the spirit and the life and the diversity of this planet, but also protecting evolving human beings, being a guardian. So let me know in the comments if that role as protector or as guardian is something that resonates with you, and maybe more about how that manifests for you. But that's really coming through, that is one of these additional starseed mission. it takes different shapes and different forms for each of us, and maybe the specifics of like why we're doing that. But that really does seem to be like an additional part of that larger collective transpersonal mission that many of us have in this lifetime at this particular point, and what is just such an incredible moment in the Earth's history and humanity's history. So I offer that to you at this time as a reflection, as something to consider this Aquarius full moon. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to connect more with me, TaylorNorrisReiki.com is the place to do that. I offer one-on-one Reiki journey sessions, galactic astrology soul readings. I also teach classes that are combining the infinite wisdom of intuitive astrology, intuitive galactic astrology, with the infinite healing power, the empowerment of Reiki journeys. And I will be sharing more about some classes that are forthcoming in September, October, November. I'm really excited about a series of classes I will be teaching to finish out this incredible 2025. So I'm wishing you a beautiful and lovely Lionsgate portal, Aquarius full moon. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.